Good morning or afternoon, whichever part of the world you may be in. Could be a different time. Wherever you are in the world, though, I know you've experienced something odd lately, and it's this never-ending feeling of nostalgia. You always feel like yesterday was somehow better than today, and every day of your life, all you ever do is try to fix it, instead of enjoying and relishing the memories that you create in the present. Life hits, man. And when you do realize that you can't rely on your memories to give you happiness anymore, it's genuine pain. It truly is. I have no real words for what the feeling is truly like. All I can do is describe them. And when you're alone and when you're without companionship, without people who truly love you, you truly do reflect on your decisions and things that you've done. I've had a lot of time to reflect on how I spent my high school days, hanging out with people that I didn't aspire to be with, struggling with God and other topics that I really didn't care too much for up until this point. But I think most of us have an innate desire to know why we feel a certain way. And I've thought about this for a really long time. And to me, it seems that we're being lost. We're being lost in our own world, lost in our own heads. As we've grown older, we've learned to think about everyone else's opinions before our own. We're a generation who cares the most about what other people think, despite vocally not caring at all about our appearance. It's quite an awkward dynamic where you present yourself in a way that's very Eminem like, where you're all no filter and you just want to be accepted for who you are despite how you act in public. But then you get home and you realize, man, I feel like a fool. And God, I've felt that so many times before. And I wish I never did, but it's also helped me grow. I've learned to become socially proper, and I've learned to make friendships, speak to girls, you know, work my way through college. Even in high school, when I wasn't fully matured, which I still am not now, I can definitely tell you that it's a lesson worth learning. And a lot of times, those lessons are harsh. They come with embarrassment, they come with all sorts of different negatives. But it takes a very strong person to see the positives. And yesterday, as I was listening to "I'm God" by Lil B, which is actually what you hear playing in the background right now. And it brought me to this place, almost like a multicolored, hazy drug-like place where I was in my own head for a very long time. And I didn't want to leave because the past felt so refreshing. It felt like a cold wave of water after a long day of hard work in the sun. And while I truly do appreciate these moments, I feel like there are people out there who don't understand them. A lot of times when I'm trying to reason with myself and how I've been perceived by other people, other people's opinions are very, very strong. Words are harsh. And although I'm the type of person who likes to be very open about how much I don't care what other people think, I can definitely tell you that when someone makes an insult or a comment that I do not appreciate, it will stay with me until I hit the sheets, until I sleep, and I'll wake up the next morning with it in my head. And I know a lot of us are like this. Many of us take different types of drugs, Adderall. Maybe some people take melatonin to sleep. Maybe some people smoke to sleep. It depends what you do, but at the end of the night, we should be able to rest easy. We should be able to be not worrying about tomorrow or how we're going to perceive ourselves throughout the day. But yet it still happens. Yet we still go to bed every night with a burden, a knot in our chest. And I want to let you know it's okay. It's not a bad thing to struggle with these. It's not abnormal. The things that you see online represent a mere fraction of your potential as a person. And despite our fears of failure, the worst thing you can ever do is not try. Because if you don't try, you're going to be so much more depressed than you would if you just put yourself out there. Failure is beautiful because there comes a point where you have nothing to lose. And although that point can be depressing, it will transform you. It's happened to me a couple times in my life where I really have had nothing to lose. And despite all of my efforts, I can never bring myself up to be as arrogant and cocky as other people. I could never be the same. And I know it sounds corny and illogical, but your feelings and the way you perceive yourself can ultimately shape how your life transforms, how everything works, and how beautiful you truly do become. Because your community is who you'd allow to be around you. Your outside influence is what you allow to enter your head. If you do not protect yourself, then you are a product of your environment with no other capacity to think. And oftentimes, when that does happen, we end up depressed because we wonder why there's such a lack of creativity and a lack of integrity as we progress through life, not understanding or knowing what's coming next, not knowing what to plan for, how to move on, how to deal with things, organization, scheduling, your friends, your partners, people you love, schoolwork, a job, finance. All these things can be affected by your self-perception. And so I do encourage a lot of you at this point to spend some time in complete silence, all alone, and truly ask yourself, what am I meant for? What am I going to do? Not when I'm going to do it, because the decision to do something should be instantaneous. You need to make a decision. You need to stop worrying, and you need to keep on going. Because the people that laugh at you now will continue to laugh if you simply back down. You will have issues. And with all of that, remember that your self-perception is important, and you also have people who need you. If you do ever feel worthless, just know that it's not true. Inside of your head is where all your power is. When your body gives out, your mind's got 50% left. And as you stare at this screen, and as you listen to my voice, know that you got value. Doesn't matter who you are. And when you look at yourself in the mirror every day, you gotta think winner.